In today's clip, I'm going to more than likely trigger some snowflakes because I'm going to defend a company against this idea of cultural appropriation, okay? A term that pretty much only exists in the USA, and to me, for very little productive reasons, no less. Ayo, Zenpak here. Another day spewing useless opinions on the internet because I can, okay? Though today's topic has always actually mattered to me. Quick question, what is cultural appropriation anyway, okay? I personally like wearing suits, but the style of suits that I can buy and learn to enjoy was not made by Chinese people, historically speaking. So am I appropriating the English? Anyway, if you're here, I'm sure you're ready to hear some common sense argument against this general trend. So please comment, like, and subscribe, because if nothing else, I will tell you my truth. So, the article that started today's clip is about how a few white ladies are trying to sell the game of Mahjong to a new generation of players. And what they did was they changed the artwork on the tiles. And in response, as usual, Twitter went crazy saying this is cultural appropriation, okay, and therefore some horrific thing. Since this topic is so controversial and I'm trying to learn from my own mistakes, let me first lay down a litany of caveats, okay? 1. Are these ladies basic for changing the artwork to palm trees and the like? Absolutely yes, but this isn't about good taste and their level of basicness. Caveat 2. Will the changed artwork actually attract a new group of players? Actually, probably also yes, because lots of ladies and bros are pretty basic. Nothing wrong with that. Caveat number 3. Holy Lord Jesus, are these custom sets way too expensive at $300 to $400 per set? Sure, it seems like highway robbery to me, but this is capitalism, okay? You don't actually have to buy it if you think it's too expensive. This is how supply and demand works. So just because I personally wouldn't pay for it at this price doesn't mean that they shouldn't be able to charge whatever they want and succeed and fail based on their pricing model. Final caveat number 4. I hope no one is going to accuse me of making this video because I love defending white ladies or something like that again, okay? I mean, I do have a night complex, but honestly, I'm married now. And my wife is hotter than any or all of these ladies, so that's not a thing. Now, on to my rebuttal on why I think amending something that was clearly from one culture, in this case Chinese, should not be discouraged, okay? And should not be called names like cultural appropriation. Reason number 1, have you ever had Chinese American food? I'm talking about General Tso's chicken, orange chicken, fried wontons with cream cheese in them, or better yet, fortune cookies, right? Most likely you have had it if you're an American. So please understand, none of those things actually exist in China, okay? They were all items created in the USA to accommodate American taste. Now you might say, well, this is made by Chinese Americans, so how can that be appropriation? Well, to that I would argue, have you actually checked each and every Chinese American takeout restaurant's kitchen? What if it's a Latino American or an African American or anyone non-Asian in the kitchen making the same made-up dishes for Americans in America? Would that change things? I can't imagine we'd be mad at Americans making food that literally came into being here in the USA, right? This is an amendment to a traditional thing. So if that's okay, why not updated Mahjong tiles? Continue on the food trend. Have you ever been to a KFC in China? You know, KFC, the restaurant with a white Colonel Sanders in the logo. Because over there, they serve things like century egg congee, okay? In this case, the restaurant is the traditional element, and yet it has been amended to accommodate local taste. And KFC China, by the way, is extremely popular because they have been doing this kind of adaptation for years now, and Chinese people love it. Is that a problem for anyone? If American things can be amended to fit the taste of Chinese people, why can't a Chinese thing be amended for the flip side, okay? Reason number 3. Have you ever seen playing cards of every variety sold in gift shops where all sorts of historical figures, cartoons, dogs and cats, prints of monsters or celebrities have replaced whatever the traditional kings, queens, and jacks and jokers of the deck? You know, the picture, I mean. If you don't believe me, just look up novelty playing cards for some images, okay? Again, so why is it that a traditional Western game can be amended to whatever the desire of the customizer is without complaint, but not a traditional Eastern game? Okay. Reason number 4, I haven't even gotten to the fact that this company, which is called Mahjong Line, by the way, specifically called the game they're updating American Mahjong. Okay. So, same tile, same visual sound of the tile clinking, but with an added joker tile. Now, I'm no Mahjong expert. I'm pretty sure jokers do not exist in the traditional Mahjong side. So what they're really updating is a different game as far as I'm concerned. So why get on their case for not honoring the origins? They've literally updated and changed the game before updating the artwork. Okay. Reason number 5. I'm also super curious on all these people who complain about Mahjong Line's attempt to update the game. Curiously, mostly as to what the complainers have done to promote the game of Mahjong itself. Do they play? Do they even know how? Are they exalting the virtues of this game and felt undercut by any and all reinterpretations? I ask this as someone who doesn't think that I can control what is considered authentic culture, okay? I can admit I don't even know how to play Mahjong, okay? Honestly, I thought it was super old-fashioned and on its way out in terms of popularity, so if I'm not personally trying to increase the audience for this game, how can I judge someone else who is at the very least making some version named Mahjong slightly more popular, okay? All games, just like language, evolve over time. If one really loved Mahjong, they would love its variants too, right? And maybe the most popular version of this game in the West is a variant that hasn't even come out yet, okay? In conclusion, my main point is that change is the only constant in this world of ours, okay? And I'm not sure who can be the judge against change simply because some perceived lack of authenticity. Sure, could the ladies have given more of a shout out to the origins of the game? Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, they were also already making their own game, okay? Would it have been better if they simply called it something else entirely? Now, if they did that, would they have gotten less or more flack from the social media snowflakes? Could go either way in my mind, okay? I'm personally happy at least they kept the name of Mahjong, right? Just like that girl that wore the flag dress to her prom, and I didn't think that was cultural appropriation either, because in both cases, it's either the dress or the game of Mahjong. If they become slightly more popular, that's a win as far as I'm concerned, okay? At least more people will be interested in a cultural tradition that's mine, that I adore. So why keep people away from it, even if it's a slightly amended version? Now, if you object because you're saying that you are a Chinese culture purist, we'd have different problems, because then I get to use the same argument that I've used against the MAGA people, the Make America Great Again people, okay? Which is, when do you think Chinese culture should be frozen in time and never changed again? Was it 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, or 5,000 years ago? Anyway, rant over. Check out some of my other clips in the corners, and cheers.